here. Yes, audience are not there, but I'm sure yesterday's sessions also, it was very interesting to interact with the speakers. Lots to learn, lots to network. Uh, is it possible to run the video which I had shared? See if you can. And 2001, I had a screenshot of the, our founding document. So I'll tell personally about myself. I'm basically a chemical engineer. I did my B from Trichy, ME from IIT Roorkee. Then I worked in aluminium for some time in a consulting firm. Then I did my PhD from IIM Bangalore in supply chain management. And I was into supply chain analytics in IBM and then in HP. And then Bangalore faced a lot of problems on waste management. We worked in our own apartment. And turn of things, I joined Saahas. Saahas was founded by somebody called Wilma Rodrigues in 2001. So when I joined in 2014, they were establishing a private limited arm also. And that's when she decided that the two entities from governance angle should be headed by different people. So I was heading the NGO till last year as the CEO. Then I felt there's lots to be done from the research and advocacy angle. So I'm now heading as a principal scientist and advisor in the organization. There's Archana Tripathi, who's a CEO. So we had a lot of us who have come from corporate background in this organization. And that brings in its level of, I think, greater focus on accountability, greater focus on processes. So the organization is very focused on that. We are about 235 people. But the interesting part with which I wanted to start was that our founding document, those objectives still remain relevant today, even after 20 years. So our objectives at that time, I remember at that time, this is in 2001, India was becoming big in those branded plastic bags. I was myself so fond of them, with Shopper Stop will have a nice bag, Lifestyle will have a nice bag, you'll collect them, keep them. At that time, our first campaign was less plastic for me. And, the organization was founded with the principles of resource recovery. Nobody was really listening to this. It's not that the NGO was founded because it was a great sector which was attracting a lot of funding, or it was a problem in your face. It was the vision of the founder who realized that, this is the path that we are taking, the stage that we are in will lead us into something very difficult. Yes, we are excited that she had that vision, but we are feeling bad that in spite of, somebody raising these alarms, we have actually come to that reality. We are sitting on a time bomb with respect to waste management. On all fronts, we are facing problems. And while, a lot of us feel that the problem is in the cities, that's not the case. We do a lot of rural work. And rural, the problem, I would say, yes, the amount of waste generated by them at household level is small. But because these are dispersed entities, and that, we have the rural population in entire India. It's not that certain pockets as rural. And FMCGs have ensured that, packaged food has gone all over. We have heard from Sundarbans to, Ladakh and whatnot. You will get Maggi everywhere. You will get gutka everywhere in the remotest location. But there is absolutely no system of collection. Whether door-to-door collection or any kind of processing, there's nothing that exists. There is no, the culture is not there inherently because they weren't generating waste. So the practices which exist today in rural India are, somehow have got aligned to burning of waste, local burning of waste, because, there is no such system that you have a central collection and disposal. So in that regard, it's a very difficult problem in rural areas. But the only saving grace compared to large cities like Delhi and Bangalore is that you don't have any politics. There is no alternate money being made, which becomes as a barrier to bring in, new way of doing things. So that's the good part. It is difficult. So since we were founded in Bangalore, we worked a lot in Bangalore and realized what a battle we were, facing there because of the, the counter money which was being made by the contractors and hence the politicians and everybody. So Bangalore, I would say we have done sparks of things. We have tried our pilots, but we have now taken them all over. We are working right now in 12 states, 18 districts. A lot of work in rural areas because that's where we saw there was willingness from the administration, from the residents, and no politics, no contractors. So there we have seen good amount of success, and also in smaller towns. Udupi we have done for the entire city. segregation implementation, waste collection, processing. We've done some work in Gurgaon also, where we focus on apartments. So apartments is another sector where we have seen there is good amount of good turnaround, because they can't dump their waste, so it is much easier to bring in source segregation. Very quick turnaround can be achieved, and they are because this sensitivity is coming in. Rules definitely support on-site composting, segregation, so that has been a big blessing. So apartments we have seen very good success, so that's another area we have been working in. We have also done some work on e-waste and CND waste, on bulk waste, which is, we've just started on mattress, furniture, which is basically, we are not very big in processing, but we are, I would say our strength is in, bringing in transformation at the community level, so that the waste streams, the way they should be stored and collected for their maximizing their recycling and resource recovery, we are able to fix that part of it. And then we work with e-waste recyclers or CND recyclers to ensure they get waste in the way they want. And also figure out in the process, because we are a non-for-profit entity, so we largely work with CSR funds. So we do figure out that, if this is what we are, like currently in CND waste, we are trying to address not the big guys, but we are trying to address the small house renovation, because they are the ones who do a lot of illegal dumping in the city, which leads to higher PM. So we are figuring out what is the economics of running a system of this kind. If we are trying to tell people that so when they register, we have established a call center. When they call us that I have generated so much of waste, so we tell them, you hold on to your waste. We are scheduling a collection in that area, 15 days later. So we are checking out whether people are ready to hold their waste or not. When we go for collection, is one vehicle enough to collect 4 houses in a day? So what is the economics of that? So these are the other things which we feel that we contribute with by doing these pilots, which then entity like yourself might look at that pilot and see, yes, this is an area in which I want to invest, it looks feasible, and I want to look at doing this in Bangalore, and then you might test that pilot somewhere else and take it up. So that's what the NGO focus on, that's what our work is. Yeah.
Great, I think your video is ready.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah.